living paycheck to paycheck is the scariest thing in the world, but I don't think people have tapped in yet that AI exists. And I've made the ChatGPT prompt and I can share it with you. Like, all you need is two numbers. You need your bills and your income. You type in this crazy prompt on ChatGPT. You just need three numbers every time you get paid: a bills number, a spending, and a savings. That right there would save so many people, but some people are terrified of AI. It is literally the biggest cheat code in the finance realm as of right now.
Welcome to the Curious Corner, where we unravel the stories behind our guests through the lens of curiosity. In this episode, I'm joined by Mikey Caloca, a graphic designer and content creator helping people better understand their finances and investing. Mikey, thank you for agreeing to come on today. How are you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal, my friend. I appreciate you having me. Episode 23, great number. But thank you for having me, my friend. I appreciate it.
No worries. Great to have you with us. Okay, to start off, could you please give us a brief intro into who is Mikey Caloca?
Mikey Caloca has blossomed now. But to start, I'll tap into my career first, and then we'll get into the brand
Okay.
that I'm currently building. But I'll do it quick. So if you don't know me, I'm Mikey. During COVID, I graduated in sports, did not pursue that. I ended up becoming a graphic designer. I worked for free for a long time, ended up finding a connection to Gary Vaynerchuk, and now I work at his company, and I've been there for 4 years or 5 years. 5 years? Yeah, almost 5 years. Wow. Have been doing that. I love it, adore it. And then now I've gone on this new journey where Mikey Caloca is now a brand in itself, well, becoming one, in the world of finance. I love money. I love talking about money. I love helping people with money. I think that's the biggest thing in this whole world. And this pyramid of mine is just helping is the biggest one. I've never done anything with a microphone clipped to my shirt, so I know my life is changing little by little. But yeah, I'm just really excited about that. I have a lot to me, but right now my huge focus in my life is just helping people with my content with money.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, I'm loving seeing you blossom in your content creation journey. And
Thank you.
you've only been doing it for a short amount of time. You're already, I know like you're already having a massive impact on many people. So
Thank you,
it's
bro. That means a
it's
lot
great
to
to
me.
see.
Thank you so much, brother.
No worries. Okay. Within that, you mentioned graphic design, which I know you self-taught yourself during COVID, which is super impressive. What was it that first sparked your decision to learn design, and how did you go about that process?
So if I'm being like completely real, I graduated college and I was completely broke and I needed a way to make money. And I had a crazy like Alienware computer. So I was like, you know what? This thing has to make me money somehow. So I looked up like social media management. I looked up graphic design, but it all seemed like so foreign. My mom, ironically, is a graphic designer as well. So I tapped her and I was like, hey, mom, teach me the basics in like 10 minutes. So she taught me how to make a shape, how to add text, and how to color something. And for some reason, dude, it sparked interest in my mind. I started looking at packaging and I started just like laying in bed at night, looking at graphics. So like now I was diving deeper into the passion of it. And that's how I went about it, was literally just watching YouTube videos past that point. Every day I spent literally every single day getting 1% better at graphic design, whether it was finding new fonts, finding new textures, finding things that just appealed to me, packages, just anything that stood out to me. I was looking at it and I was saving it on a Pinterest board. So I can literally on the toilet, dog, I'm looking at Pinterest like every day. I was addicted to it. So that's how I got into graphic design. And then the way that I sort of built on that was I just offered random YouTubers free thumbnails just to get me off the ground and just find a way to get some sort of portfolio built up. And I did that for like 8 months. And yeah, I guess that's how the self-taught thing came into play. Was just built off of passion and grind and hustle, and I somehow got into it, man. I to this day it blows my mind, but I somehow made it.
Paid off.
Really did. It really did. Yeah, my life has completely turned over. It's funny because I do voice recordings on my phone sometimes just to like sort of like I'm like a diary, but I like to hear my voice. And the other day I was listening back to ones from 2020 when I was just starting graphic design, and it's like I had like $17 to my name. I don't know how I was gonna pay my car. I was living at home with my parents, and I was like, "Mikey, I hope when you're listening to this in the future, you got a job, like, you figured this out." And it's funny because I listen to it now and I'm like, "Wow, dude, you would have never known what was gonna happen 5 years later. You were gonna be working for." Because I would watch Gary Vee stuff. So, yeah, dude, it's pretty wild.
Very full circle. Very cool.
Yeah.
Uh, Within your intro as well, you obviously mentioned stepping into a world of content creation. What was it that inspired you to make that transition, and how have you found that experience so far?
Transitioning into content, you mean? Is
Yes.
that what you asked? Oh, man. The transition has been a little crazy, but I'm trying to learn. I'm steady learning as I'm progressing. Um, but the transition has been weird. To be honest with you, I just recorded a video on my phone. I know that I always wanted to get into content. I've always loved being in front of a camera, but specifically about money, I just didn't know how I wanted to angle it because people can perceive money the wrong way, especially like people want to see credentials. They want to see your net worth. They want to see your investment portfolio. I'm not showing any of that. I'm just strictly just talking out of my knowledge, and people are starting to pick it up now. But when I first started, I was overthinking the whole thing. Like, man, this is not going to work. People are not going to believe me. So I recorded one video on my phone and I edited it for like 3 days straight. Sadly, got deleted and I got really pissed off. So I re-recorded it, edited it again, and then I was like, you know what? Why not just press post, bro? So I posted it on TikTok and I got 300 views, which for me was pretty solid. I was expecting like 7. So when I got 300 views, I was kind of surprised. So I continued posting, and within my first week, one of my first videos hit 170K. I was like, "Whoa, like now this is for real. This could work. This could work." And it was a ChatGPT video. Funny enough, ChatGPT reaches out to me on Instagram and they're like, "Hey, we want to collaborate." I'm like, "This is not real." Within 2 weeks, this is what's going on. Um, so I've just been building up momentum, man. TikTok gave me the live feature early, so I've been going on live, teaching hundreds of people about credit. Um, like the viewers that I get in these lives blows my mind because I'm a much smaller account, but I think the impact of helping people is what's really, really like starting to show in numbers. Um, and it's been great. So it's a long-winded answer, but the transition has been a lot, and I'm trying my best to just learn as I go.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I know I've tuned into some of your lives as well. And I don't know, I just think it's just the way you come across on camera is just like gives people confidence and just like your authentic self shining through and just like generally wanting to be a good human and help people and like actually educate them to help them understand.
Thank
And
you for saying that.
money's obviously a funny subject where you get good actors and bad actors, but I think you just
Yeah.
shine through as being a genuine, humble human, but wants to help
Thank you for
others.
saying that, man. It's money is a very, like you said, it's a very funny topic. I still get people in my lives who will try to test me, but that's the thing that I love about how comfortable I am in front of a camera already. I do not care. Like I will stand 10 toes on my belief, on my opinions, on my experience, and I'll test them, and it ends up resulting in people trusting me more because it's like I don't back down when someone tries to challenge one of my knowledge, I guess. But yeah, and even if I and it means the world to me that you say that because I pride myself on trying to show people that I'm authentic because I'm not faking it. I'm not doing this just for the camera. The reason why I create content is because everyone in my life around me, I've just spammed the idea of money, and I feel like it annoys people at some point because I talk about it too much. So I'm like, you know what? Instead of annoying them, let me annoy the world in my phone. There's millions of people out there who might actually get some value out of this. So I started posting and it's working somehow. But yeah, dude, I honestly like that comment you made means the world to me because that's exactly what I'm trying to portray to people. It's just like, hey, look, I just want to help. That's it. I just really in my heart want to help.
Yeah, and as you say, if it helps one person, then it's worth
Dude,
posting that video and like
are you
overcoming
kidding
that
me?
initial fear or judgment or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
When I post videos, like the video that went like popped off like 170K. Don't get me wrong. That's freaking awesome. Like 170,000 people. If you look at a picture of 170,000 people, that's stadiums of people. That's crazy. But, like, if you dumb it down even less to who really got helped, even if one person in that 170,000 was helped, that to me is, like, worth all my time. Because that video took me, like, a minute and a half to make, but it made an impact in someone's life, and now going forward, they might be rich one day because of the video that they saw that I decided to record really quick before I took a shower, and it's gonna end up doing big numbers on TikTok and help people. So, yeah, dude, even if it's one person, 10, 50, that's my content, the purpose of it is just to help. That's it.
I love that philosophy, and yeah, and there's even then beside it, just like then if they're educated, they then might go educate and help their friends, and just
Yeah,
like the scaling of that impact. Um, and obviously then when you get to see firsthand and you get messages saying, "Oh, like thank you for helping me with this" or something, it just like goes full circle and
yeah,
only adds more fuel to a fire to just like keep going and to
yeah. Funny enough,
yeah.
I've been going for about a month now, a little over a month, but, like, now when I started, it was, like, the building trust period, like, people are just getting to know me. Now it's a month in, so people know me a little bit, and I have a Discord community who, like, if anyone's watching this, I would love for you to join. It's in my Instagram bio. But my Discord, it's cool because now we're a month in and people are now starting to learn and they're seeing their credit go up off of the actions that I'm telling them to do. So they'll hit me up and be like, "Yo, Mikey, my score just jumped 8 points." So now they're learning off of what I've taught them. And then newcomers in the Discord are coming in and they're giving them advice. So it's like, I don't even have to work. I can just sit back and let you answer for me. And they're giving the right advice. Like it's off of what I taught them. So it's such a cool thing, like seeing them pay it forward and even seeing my family around me, my friends around me, my coworkers at B Friends. There are people hitting me up that they switched bank accounts and that they opened a credit card. Like, dude, makes me so happy, dude. Like you can notice it. You can notice it, man.
Can't stop smiling.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah, I'd very much love to dive into all things finance and investing because,
Yeah.
as I mentioned to you beforehand, I've never discussed it on the podcast because I don't know, as you said, it's a topic that people are kind of a bit hit and miss over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to dive in.
Let's do
So,
it.
what do you think is the biggest misconception that people have about investing?
Ooh, about investing? Ooh, I like this one. People think that it's extremely risky, and like people, for the sake of my content, because I'm recording myself. So let me start from the top so I can clip this because I'm learning. So in the common misconception of investing, right? People think that it's a gamble and that they only look at it from a one lens perspective of, oh, I'm just investing in stocks. I'm just investing in an Apple or an Nvidia or a Microsoft. And like if that goes down, all my money is gone. There are other avenues of investing that you can do that are way less risky. There are target date funds that you can pick the day when you retire and you can just invest in that blindly. Doesn't matter if the market is red, yellow, or blue. You put your money in there. You say you're going to retire. You're going to retire 2065, and boom, your money is there when you're done. There's ETFs, which is baskets of stocks, not just individuals. There's these baskets. There's the S&P 500, which is the biggest ETF you can think of. That's got all these big companies that you would normally invest in anyways, but all in one. So people just think that it's a gamble, when it's really not. There's something called dollar cost averaging, which just means that you are putting money into the market every time you get paid, any frequency you want. It doesn't matter if it's up or down, you're investing. And at the end of the day, you're going to be buying so many dips over time that you'll kind of you'll end up kind of winning in the end because you're just constantly investing. So I really wish people would just do it. Like even if it's just $5, $10, 50, like you don't have to pump and dump your money in there, dump your entire life savings, like just little by little. Because especially if you got time on your side and you're young, oh my God, that's the biggest thing in investing. So that's common misconception. People think it is a gambling just pit, and it's not. It's not at all.
For sure. And like, I know there's even like demo accounts where you can just essentially like practice
Yeah.
investing. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not, you haven't got to worry about the money because it's just, a virtual
It's
pot of
not
money.
yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's different forms of investing. So there's like, I'm sure you've heard of like the day traders or the penny stocks, like those people who just like invest in little increments of money, or like little stocks that are very, very cheap, like under a dollar, aka penny stocks. And then they'll put like tens of thousands of dollars in that, which ends up equating to like millions of shares. And if that goes up a percent, they cash out and they make a bunch of money. Like that's always a risk because it can also be the other side of the spectrum where your money just goes away and you're broke. But I don't believe in that. Like, I like to do it, like I said, dollar cost averaging. Every time you get paid, just invest, man, little by little, little by little. It's just everyone in the VFriends community says this all the time, brick by brick. That's literally it, man. That's the same thing with investing. Everything in life is brick by brick.
Brick by brick and consistency and just like zooming out and seeing the bigger picture of like if I just
Yeah,
it's actually something I've so like when I was living in London for a year, I felt that I didn't really have enough window to invest. So I stopped investing when I was in London. But then now I've moved back, I'm investing again. But I've become very investing is like top of mind almost of like every month without fail, I'm just going to invest X amount and I'm just
good.
going to do it every month for as long as possible.
You are dollar cost averaging. You're doing exactly what I just
Yeah.
said. That's perfect.
Like, yeah. But it's just like, it's a proactive thought, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, dude, even if you're investing $10, $3, $8 every time you get paid, you are doing it. Like that is like the magic of the game. You're doing it. You can actually look at yourself and say that you are doing it because there are other people that aren't even doing it at all and they're just keeping their money in their bank account when you can be making so much more in the stock market. It's just, I don't know. I wish people would do it more. So I'm glad that you're doing it. But yeah, just every time you are going to invest, man, do it frequently. Frequently. That's what wins is time too. And we're young as hell, me and you. Like, dude, we have the biggest thing on our side, time.
100%. One in three people based in the UK and the US say they're living paycheck to paycheck. How can someone listening break free of living that cycle?
It's a bad one. Dude, living paycheck to paycheck is the scariest thing in the world. But I don't think people have tapped in yet that AI exists. Because back in the day, people hear budgeting and Excel spreadsheets and they just kind of panicked, which I get. It's a lot to comprehend. There's literally, and I've made the ChatGPT prompt and I can share it with you, but it legit is like all you need is two numbers. You need your bills and your income. You type in this crazy prompt on ChatGPT and it pumps out three numbers. You just need three numbers every time you get paid: a bills number, a spending, and a saving. So every time you get paid, you transfer your money into three different accounts. That way, your bills are accounted for, your spending is accounted for, and you're saving. People that live paycheck to paycheck are not tracking their spending, and they're just boom, 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 paying extra for groceries. They're probably buying their most expensive eggs, not paying attention to how much they're spending on milk and meat and whatever else. And by the end of the month, you're like, where the hell's my money going? You have no idea. So I wish people would track their money more. Like I use an app called Copilot, and that's what I track my money with. But then also like using AI as leverage, like talk to it like a human. Hey, look, I'm broke. I need help budgeting. I only want a budget for bill spending savings. What can I do? This is how much I make. This is how much my bills are. Dude, that right there would save so many people. But some people are terrified of AI. I don't know. I don't know why, but it is literally the biggest cheat code in the finance realm as of right now. Like it's unheard of.
Yeah. And I guess also it can just be, you can, like, if you're looking at your phone and you just see that, for example, like your five figures in debt, for example, I guess that feels
Yeah.
overwhelming. But like
Yeah, of
something that
course.
Mikey's just started a really fun series where he's like paying off his student loan debt and just like brick by brick, small
Yeah.
dollar amount at a time, and just showing the consistency of doing it will pay off eventually, and
Yep.
that sum will eventually get lower and lower until a point where you're debt free.
And debt is scary. Like I don't want to minimize debt because it is scary, but I think some people don't know how to handle it. And that's again where like the bills, spending, saving comes in because you can use one of those three numbers, preferably probably your saving. I don't want you saving as much when you're in debt, but you can use your saving amount and just take a little bit of that and put it towards your debt and do that every time you get paid instead of like paying the minimum payment, now racking up interest. Like it just, I don't know. That's what through my content, man. I'm trying to wake people up, like shake people. Like, look, money is not that scary. It's not. We just have to be in a better place to understand it. So yeah, debt is scary, but exactly like you said, man, it's we spend money, we go out to eat, we spend money on stupid things at the grocery store, we spend money on things that we don't need and we don't even end up using. And all those things add up over time, like $7, $6. I've even done $28. I'm gonna do $1,000 one day. Like there's gonna be big and small transactions that I do, but it's just while you're out living your life, spending and being reckless and crazy, I'm putting those little 7, 3, 6, $10 to my student loans and don't watch me every single day. Come back on day 187 and watch how my loans are now at 16,000 instead of 20,000. But it's because I wasn't BSing for those 160 days. I was putting it towards my debt rather than balling out on stupid stuff. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So thank you.
No worries. Okay. What about the other side of that? For people who can afford to invest, but for whatever reason they say that it's not a priority for them right now, or their
Yeah.
energy is focused elsewhere. What do you tell those people?
I mean, it's okay. First part of the day, if you are in a position where you don't have to invest and you just don't want to, that's fine. I also encourage people to look at the other side of the spectrum. Like, let's go through a scenario where maybe you were investing. Like, let's let's take whatever you would be saving and investing and times it by 0.07 so you could see a 7% return over that span of a year and see how much money you could make if you just tried it. So, I don't know. I wish people were just a little more open-minded. I think that's also due to the fact that just, like, content around finances is very, like, one size fits all nowadays. People don't kinda open it up to, like, "Hey, it's okay to be scared. Like, here is a way to go around that." So, I don't know. I wish people would try it out more, but if someone's in a position to not invest and they don't want to, I'm not gonna make them. I'm just gonna show them why they should. But I would never make someone do something. I don't know. I wish people would try it more, but I guess it is what it is, dude.
Yeah, I think obviously like a massive part of investing is just like as like you said, like just getting in as early as possible and like the time in the market.
Yeah.
And therefore it's just like saying that it's not a priority right now when it's like we're young and now is the exact time really you should be investing.
Yeah.
Uh like don't wait till you're I guess what I'm trying to say is like if you could start now, don't wait until you're like mid 30s and then you've got like a mortgage and you got kids. Like, yeah,
I think at the very, very least, I think this also answers your last question. At the very, very least, for someone who says, "Oh, I'm just not in a position to invest right now." Okay, at the very least, what you should be doing, save your money. Every time you get paid, set something aside because not all the money that you have right now from your paycheck is yours today. Because I always tell people there's a version of you 20, 30, 40 years from now that is getting more and more pissed the more you don't save. You have got to save. So if you're not going to invest, that's cool. I'm not going to make you do something, but please at least set some money aside. Because some people will say they don't want to invest and then they just don't save. It's like, dude, in America, 44% of Americans cannot afford $1,000 emergency. That's crazy. Like if someone blows a tire, that's it. They're probably going to have to go into debt to pay for that, which is horrible. So if you're not going to invest, at least save. At least save, man.
if someone is a beginner and wants to get serious about investing, what are some simple steps they can take to get started?
Man, download Robinhood. That's what I use. But some people will be like, oh my God, like, no, Charles Schwab, whatever. Like, use whatever you want. But just, first of all, people need to become curious. If you want to start getting into investing, you have to become curious about it first before you start doing it. Like, don't just jump into it blindly thinking that you're going to have it all figured out. It's very overwhelming and it's very scary. So we have YouTube, we have TikTok, we have short form content everywhere. Look up beginner investing videos and watch those for a week straight. I would rather you take a week to learn than take that week and blow your money and be broke. Like, take a week, learn, and then go. So I wish people would be a little bit more curious before they take big jumps, because it would end up saving them a lot of money. So hopefully that answers it better.
100%. And I also think, like, I know, like, from my personal experience, like, I was curious, so I naturally wanted to learn about investing. But
Mhm.
then later on, I had some friends who wanted to get investing, but they were like figuring it out. And they came to me as just like asking questions and stuff. So
Which
I
is good.
appreciate, that like not everyone has friends like that. And obviously that's why content exists. And like you
Yeah.
said, YouTube. But also at the same time, if you do have friends or you have that friend who does buy stocks or invest in the S&P 500 or whatever. Like, I just always think that, like, learning something together is a lot less scary.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
if you have a friend that's already gone through it, then and you obviously trust them, make sure you trust them.
Well, yeah, I
Then,
trust them.
then yeah, like, that's another way you can also learn.
Yeah, I think this is also something that I'm trying to help with is, like, I want people to see me and then become me to my friends. Like, go be what I am to my friends to your friends. So learn from me, which is great, thank you, but now go apply it to your family, go help your friends. Like, we need to create this, like, funnel of people, just domino effect, everyone helping each other. Because learning on your own, because I can tell someone, "Go watch YouTube videos on finances all day of the week," but at the end of the day, it is very scary, bro. Like, money is not easy. It's very, very overwhelming. You'd be very surprised how many people with the amount of content out there nowadays, people still come to me totally lost because they don't understand YouTube and what is out there. So, learning at the beginner level and then having their friends or being a good friend and helping your friends around you is a must. We need to create, like, more and then we were talking about this earlier, it's just, like, becoming more open about money and, like, being open to talking about it. Because right now it's so, like, inside, like, nobody wants to share it. People gotta be a little more open to sharing it with their friends. Because when you share, especially your friends trust you, they might take your advice and they'll become wealthy, and then who knows? Maybe you guys are rich together one day, I don't know. But it's just we gotta we gotta be together, man. We're humans, bro. Why not help each other? I don't get it. I don't get it.
I couldn't agree with you more. How do you personally think about balancing saving, investing, and enjoying life in the present?
Mm, it's a great question. So, all right, if you're balancing saving, investing, and trying to enjoy your life, which is a lot to balance at once, there is a way. Um, People think that you have to be massively aggressive in the saving and investing portion, and you cannot live your life on the enjoying portion. You can still enjoy your life, but just please still do the other two, invest and save. So if you make $1,000 every 2 weeks, I'm not telling you to go invest 999 of it and you have $1 left. Like, no, give yourself money to spend. How much do you enjoy spending on a month? And don't be stupid and answer that. Oh, I want 900 bucks to spend in a month. You don't need that. Let's be realistic. You might need 300-400 bucks to guilt free spend. Put $100 in your savings and put 50 in your investing, and just do that for a long time. And just if you're, especially if you're young, that is insane. Saving 100 bucks every month, investing 50. Anyone below 24 right now would be thankful as hell of me that I just said this and they probably implemented it in their life. Going forward in the next 10 years, they should thank me, because that right there is like, if you're under like 24, 23, that's a crazy formula. Just, you can still enjoy your life. Just set a little bit. Just save 100, invest 50, or save 85, invest 45. Like, just do it. Just do it. Because at the end of the day, man, money, yes, it is like a number at the end of the day, but it's also a mindset of just understanding what you have now is not all yours. There is a future version of you that needs that. If an emergency comes up, God forbid somebody in your family passes away, you don't have health care, your tire blows out, whatever might happen in life. The fact that you made the sacrifice back then to save money is great because now you're set. But yeah, there's a way to enjoy your life and also save and invest. So people could do it. They're just choosing not to.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
I agree. I think I think personally, like, I'm not a materialistic person,
Yeah.
and therefore I feel like my day-to-day micro spending habits are pretty minuscule. And because of that, I'm able to invest, but then also, like, if I want to go on holiday like twice a year, I can go. Or like, I'm giving myself the freedom to do that because I've saved for the other like 10 months of the year or like
Well,
whatever.
yeah. What you said is actually what a lot of people should be doing is understanding that there aren't a lot of things that I like spending money on. Maybe there is. Like for me, I love skincare. I love healthy eating. Like those are my there's a guy that I watch for meat safety. Those are his money dials. Those are the things that make you happy. So I turn that dial all the way up and I use those for my personal leisurely spending. But skincare and healthy eating might not mean anything to you. You might enjoy video games and skateboarding. Go crazy on that. That's what makes you happy. You enjoy that. So everyone has to have like that money dial that they kind of turn up. Whatever makes them happiest, you turn that up all the way. and then you dial back on the other things that you don't need. I'm literally quoting Ramit Sethi, like that's his thing, but like I've taken that in my life and I've implemented it. But that's literally all it is just asking yourself, okay, what makes me happy? Is it a cleaning lady? Having that time back, having that freedom. All right, invest in your cleaning lady. Don't spend so much on AirPod Maxes. You can't afford those. You got a cleaning lady. Calm down. So it's a balance. You got to have balance.
Yeah, no, I like that take. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah.
So yeah, just having that self-awareness of like, what are the things that make you most happy, and
Yeah.
like still give yourself that because it makes you happy, but as you said, dial down the other stuff.
Yeah, like if you want to ball out on VFriend stuff, go crazy, bro. But you can't afford to eat out 30 times this month. You just bought VFriends cards this whole month.
Mikey likes seeing his designs on people's shelves and
Yeah,
desks.
bro. The package that I made, I think you
They're
want
fire.
that rather
They're
than
dope.
food. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. It seems impossible until it isn't. How has this been true in your own life so far?
Dang, where did you get that from?
I pay attention.
Bro, that is like that's the poster I keep above my desk.
I know you have it in your apartment.
It seems impossible. So what's your question about it? How do I implement it into my life?
How has this been true in your own life so far?
Oh my gosh, dude. That's kind of like a weird moment, but I don't know. Everything in my life has I was literally talking about this last night. There was a person that sent me a DM, and normally I get text DMs, but his was a voice recording, and it's something about hearing someone's voice that hits different. But he's going through it. He's had a really rough life, and like whatever. He's come to me for help with his credit. But I think hearing his voice hit me last night, and I was like, I'm actually doing this. Like, this is crazy. Like, there are people that for real are getting help from my voice. Like, me speaking out loud is helping other people. And for the longest, I thought that was impossible. Um, because like all I have is a phone. I don't have a camera. I don't have a fancy setup. All I have is a phone. Like, what really can I do with that? Same thing with graphic design. I had a iffy Alienware computer, didn't have a crazy good monitor. It's like, what can I really do with what I have? Like, not much until you just start doing it. Like, that's until you start doing it. I think that within a couple of years working at Vayner is when it sort of hit me. Like, when I went to New York for the first time, that's when it hit me. Like, whoa, I did like VCon 1 was when I was there, like seeing everything, like, whoa, graphic design got me here. And then same thing with this content thing. It's only been a month and a half, but still, like, just hearing someone's voice, I had that same feeling last night, like, whoa, that I had at VCon 1. Like, I'm actually doing like this is crazy. So I don't know. I doubt myself a lot. I have a hard time being proud of myself at the same time. So I don't give myself the flowers that I should be doing. Like when I hit 10K, I was like, all right, there it is. Like it's kind of what it is. But everybody around me was like, congrats, congrats. And I'm just like, not enough yet. I have to keep going. So I don't know. It does seem impossible. And even now it's like I'm setting these goals for myself that I don't even know where I'm trying to push to, but it does seem impossible, but I keep proving myself wrong. Like every time that I do something, I continue to prove myself wrong as long as I just stay committed and push towards what I want to do. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, man, but wild. You brought that up. Wild.
It's crazy, but you're making it happen. You are living
Trying,
proof of that it's possible to just like start and just like go with your gut and just like chase that vision and
dude.
just help people.
Anyone like people always say like if I can do it, you can do it. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm Mr. Beast. I'm nowhere close. Like I'm literally with 10K followers on TikTok. Let's relax. But at the end of the day, yes, like I am actually doing it. Like I am creating content. I'm really happy with it. It's content that I enjoy watching. Like I'll post something and watch it on repeat for like an hour because I want to make sure I didn't mess something up. But it's legit just doing it. That's literally it. And then falling in love with doing it. That's the real key because people will create content because of the financial gain. I think the fact that I'm doing it for the helping gain is really when I unlocked something, and now I feel like it's really getting crazy in my head. Like, wow, this is actually happening. So
It's just more sustainable. And
it
also
is, man.
that quote, it's funny. It's kind of like it was actually I wrote it down on a post-it note next to me at the start of this
Mhm.
year. If I can do it, you can do it too. It's
Yeah.
kind of it's like kind of turned into like a bit of a mantra and just like almost motivation of like if by, going to a gym, working out and taking a picture, or just like by posting a video inspires someone else or has a positive impact on their life to go do their thing or changes the trajectory of their life in some way in a positive way, then just
Yeah,
like that's just like the best.
dude. That I don't know. Recently, not even recently, my whole life, it's just, dude, people try to make it seem like they have it all figured out. Nobody has it figured out. Nobody has it figured out. Everyone, the people that everyone looks up to, they go through stuff. Like, we all have one thing in common. We can all have different niches, different content, different passions, but we all have one thing in common. This is our first go at life. This is our only shot we've ever had at life. So a lot of us are learning throughout this whole thing, and it might seem like a lot of us have it all put together. No, the hell they do not. They're still learning. So if I can take my one chance at life and use it to help people, like that part is like what really makes me happy. Cause I'm not doing it like, hey, look at me. What was me? I want to create content. Cause like, hey, look at my face. F my face. I want to teach someone like how to be better with one of the scariest things in the world. I think money is a really cool topic to tap into because it doesn't matter who you are, everyone has to deal with it. So, like, gym is very niche because some people don't really find fitness that big to them, but they're dealing with money. Everyone around here is dealing with finances. So, I think it's a really fun niche to tap into, and I don't know. I've said I'm excited like 37 million times, but I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm hyped with this where this is all going, man.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. We have two lives, and the second one begins when we realize we only have one. How do you
It's a deep
personally
quote.
reflect on that quote?
Dude, exactly what I just said. We are all here one time. So people don't realize that, and you always hear like, "Oh, YOLO, you only live once." People will say that, but then when they legit realize, like, "Whoa, like we die. We're gonna die." That's why that Be Friends character, "You're gonna die, fly. You're gonna die." So like, realize that. So like, really dissect that character and realize, "Oh my god, I'm gonna die one day. What the hell are you gonna do now?" So what's this next step of your life gonna be like when you now realize, "Holy shit, I'm gonna die." Um, I don't know when that realization was for me, but I'm very, like, space oriented, like, realizing that we're on Earth, like, in the middle of a galaxy, in the middle of, like, this universe. It makes no sense to me. When I start thinking about that, that's when I'm just like, "Why would I not create content? Like, why would I not buy those headphones that I really want? Like, why?" Like, start doing things because you legit we are a speck of dust. We're gonna die. So I love that quote because it is true. It's a great quote. Your second life begins. When you realize you have one. It's a great quote. But yeah, dude, I yap on topics, but you got to stop me at some point.
I'm not stopping you. uh, do you feel how do you feel like that whole mindset and philosophy has changed the way you approach your life?
Yeah, of course.
And like,
Um,
if so, like, how, like, I don't know, what some
how?
thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of like I was just talking about, dude. It's like in the content sense. Like when I realized, holy crap, this is all gonna end one day. Why not just make content? Why not? You see everyone and their mom say they want to do it. This is the direction the world is going in, obviously. So why not attack it? If it doesn't work, who cares? Adapt to the next thing. Whatever the next passion is, whatever you want to do, adapt to it. Do it. If content falls through and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and YouTube gets banned, who cares? Move on to the next thing. It's just whatever makes you happy, bro. At the end of the day, that's really what it matters. What the hell makes you happy? If you can ask yourself, hey, does this make me happy? And you say yes, go do it. Stop procrastinating, stop BSing, go do it. So I'm not even sure if that's on topic to the damn question, but I just want people to realize we are gonna die, bro. We're gonna die. And open your eyes. Cause it's serious. It's serious. I think you know what? I had a friend of mine who passed away like 4 years ago. She was my age. Um She worked with me at my old job, and it was the first person. I think I'm just now having a realization of when I realized when everything changed for me. Because when this friend of mine had passed away, that's where I was like, "Holy shit, like, at any moment, this could happen." And I had just been talking to her a couple weeks prior about, like, how she regretted not spending money on vacations, how she regretted not doing a bunch of things, and then from one day to the next, she passes away. I was like, "Whoa." So and then going to her funeral, it was even more of a confirmation, like, "Oh my goodness, like, this is legit. She's not here. She's right there. She's not here anymore." Ever since she passed away, I have just been on this, like, weird mentality of, like, what is the point of caring about anything? Let me just do whatever makes me happy when I wake up because that's the most important time of the day for me is when my eyes open up and I'm alive. So I'm just gonna keep doing that. And if I'm happy when I wake up, I had a great day, man. So I literally just thought about that. So I just wanted to share that because I don't think I've actually ever told anybody about that before.
I mean, thank you for sharing that. And that's kind of crazy that you just had that realization of like pinpointing the moment where you feel like
Yeah.
your mentality switched up. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's
It's
cool.
crazy, man. I think at the time I might have been like 22, um, 21, something like that. So at the time, you're young. You're still like in that figuring out phase. I'm 26. I'm still in it. But I think at the time it had really hit me because I was like, oh my gosh, I was just talking to this person. Like I've had family who passes away and stuff, and we all do. Um, but I think because I haven't lost a really close one yet, knock on wood. But at the time, that was the closest person I had ever lost to me, and I was like, whoa, like I was just talking to this person. Like I have DMs with them. I've hung out with them. I had dinner with them, and we were sharing how like we have regrets, and then I am still here to live out my life and fulfill a life where I don't have regrets. She doesn't have that blessing anymore. That's it. Her run is over. So that was like, oh my gosh, like that really killed me. And ever since then, I've just, it's really weird because my life has totally changed since then. Um, and it was literally from when she passed away on. So yeah, I just had that realization like dead on this podcast. So there you go.
And that's crazy. But
Yeah,
thanks for sharing.
of course, dude.
In a world that's constantly changing, what do you think is the key to staying adaptable?
Adaptable alien, my friend. The best character in Be Friends. Go ahead, run up the open sea. Everyone buy it. Adaptable alien is my personal favorite character. Why? We talked about it a second ago. If kind of like look at the TikTok ban. Everyone panicked because oh my god, I didn't prepare for this. I'm gonna lose my job. And of course, I empathize with the ones, and I feel bad because yes, a lot of people are about to lose their careers and their jobs. But in the same sense, it's like, okay, TikTok goes away. Now what? Are we gonna sit here and cry about it, or are we gonna move on and adapt? So same thing, dude. If YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram gets banned, I know now, Mikey, at this moment, sitting in this chair, that I have found a newfound passion to help people with money. So if the next form of social media is putting up flyers on the streets where I have to, there's no more live, I got to put flyers out on the streets to show people a graphic on how to build credit, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So people have got, ask yourself first what makes you happy when you wake up. Whatever that is, do it. And if something comes into life where that changes, change to continue doing it. That's it. Just adapt to whatever you got to do to continue waking up and open your eyes in the morning and being like, a new day. And that's it.
Okay. As as you mentioned at the start, a fun fact about Mikey is that to journal he likes to leave audio recordings to himself.
Mhm.
So the final question is, in your most played back voice message to yourself, what is the key lesson that younger Mikey needed to hear?
You know what's crazy? It is all going to be okay. I think that, I think people, honestly, I think journaling is great. But I had a friend of mine, his name is Sahil, a friend of mine who told me when I first began in graphic design that you should do voice recordings on your phone. Um, because like I like to journal, but my hand starts to hurt. But then also, like, I do like to hear my voice and hear, like, "Man, I really am sad in this moment. Damn, I really am happy in this moment." Um, so I think the most played back recording that I had was when I had moved to Memphis and I left Vayner for a short period of time. I was, like, crying. I was not in the best headspace. I was not happy where I was. But in any of my recordings, not just Memphis, but specifically Memphis, 'cause that's the most played one to your question, but listening back to those things, it's like, wow, hearing my voice and realizing, "Dude, you're gonna be good. Like, relax, you're gonna be good." And I'll always, like, say, like, "I hope when you're listening to this, man, I hope you're doing better." And I'm listening to it, I'm like, "Yes, I'm better, bro. You're good. You're good. You're gonna be fine. Relax." So we overthink a lot of things, man, but the voice recording method, I don't know, something about it, it hits different when you hear the voice rather than write it. So I have loved voice recordings, and the lesson that I've learned is, man, you are gonna be good. Don't overthink. Don't cry about it. Don't freak out. Life has a weird way of working itself out, and the voice recordings really show that. Because it's even weird sometimes too, because I'll say something and I'll be like, I'm like, "Yo, I hope this helps me make some money, or I hope this helps me get happier." And like within a month, I make a new recording and you'll hear me, "Well, we're good." And like everything is fine. I don't know why I was freaking out last month. Just weird way of working itself out, life, man. So
The world works in strange ways. But
it really does.
no, I love that. I actually think the audio recordings to yourself is super cool, and just like, because like I used to journal a little bit on and off, but I'd only do it when I felt that like mentally I was so like just not know what I was doing, but I just needed to
Yeah.
like get my ideas out on paper.
Yeah.
But it is time consuming a bit, and that's probably a bit of a BS excuse because you could just commit 5 minutes a day. But like voice recordings just seem like such a frictionless way of doing it, and
It
also
really
just like
is.
also just feel like ever DMing people, just like a voice recording just feels so much more
Oh, yeah.
impactful.
Oh, yeah. Like I
Um,
said, yeah, that guy sent me
yeah.
a voice recording and I was like, "Holy crap." But yeah, voice recording, like you said, very frictionless. I can also understand why people like to write. There's, there's almost like a therapeutic thing to it, like writing and, like, seeing your handwriting and, like, being able to flip through it and be like, "Wow, I touched this page 7 years ago." Like, I can understand in that sense. But the voice recording, I like the frictionless part of it, and I also like, it's almost therapeutic to talk to myself, which is weird, but it's nice. People can say that they don't talk to themselves. BS. We all talk to ourselves. So I like talking to myself on the voice recordings. Like, I'll even be like, "Hey, man, love you. Hope you're doing good." But I'm literally speaking to myself. But it's just, like, feeling like somebody is there with me as I'm listening to it is, like, very comforting. Um, and then also just, like, I feel like you cannot capture emotion on paper. Yes, you can write how you're going through, but you cannot capture emotion. And hearing my voice, like hearing, you can tell when a voice recording starts and I'm like, "Yo, what's going on?" Like, I'm happy. And then there's days where I'm like, "Man, what's going on, man?" Like, I'm just like, I'm down in the dump. So like being able to hear the highs and the lows is really cool. So I think a lot of people should try out voice recording. It's really fun. Doesn't take any space on your phone. I have recordings from 2020 up until now, 5 years. Um, doesn't affect my storage, so people can give excuses. "Oh, my iPhone storage." Bro, shut up. Man comes up with any excuse he can. So, yeah, I think it's really great. I recommend you try it, man. Try it for a month, like,
Wait,
do a recording.
so do you do a recording every day, or is it just like whenever you feel like you need to get something off your chest?
Yeah, normally it's like when I first began doing recordings, I was doing them, like, once a week or so. Um, Because when I did start graphic design, I would do it whenever I had, like, a big update, like a new interview or, like, something happened, and those were very frequent when I first started. Now my life has been a little more on cruise control. Now with the personal content thing, now I'm recording more often than before, but normally I do it whenever, like, I just need to get something off my chest. I usually do it when I'm driving or when I'm walking, just like, "Hey, little update. This is where we're at. My life is good. Money is great. This happened at work." Just little updates that maybe the future version of me when I wanna listen to it and just kinda, like, chuckle, like, "Think you're gonna be fine. Relax." So yeah, I do it, like, whenever I have little updates, and maybe even sometimes I'm just bored. I'll just do a recording like, "Hey, man, walking around the apartment, cleaning, but feeling good. Energy is good. I've been eating really good. Hopefully, you're still doing that." And just it's still just picking it up and doing it one time. and then listening back to it in a week, I think you'll really enjoy it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I might have to try that. And yeah, it's just cool because like I know that so I've had Ezra on before, and Ezra always talks about just how like the content we post and stuff is just like leaving essentially like that knowledge and those lessons for like future generations and like his
Mhm.
future kids and like future grandkids and stuff. But
Yep.
as you said, like with and like so that it's making me think of like when people then like rediscover like their granddad's diary or something, and they like, they
Yeah.
go through it. But to your point, just having the audio recordings of that is just like adds another layer of like emotion and uh
Yeah.
yeah, just like
Like, imagine
yeah,
listening to your parents, like, your dad having a voice recording when he was in high school. Like, you know how cool that would be? Like, just hearing your
exactly.
dad, yeah, like, it's such a cool thing, and there's gonna be these crazy people, "Oh, the grid, like, we're gonna lose all that." Alright, look, again, relax. If that happens, I'll adapt, but for now, I'm doing what I got. But, yeah, imagine how cool it would be listening to, like, your mom in high school just, like, talk about how she went out on her first date with your dad, and this is what they ate, and just stupid updates, but it would just be really good. It'd be, like, chilling to you to just listen to your parents' voice, in the past. Like, that to me hits so much deeper than seeing my parents writing. Um, but then again, there is a cool, like, factor to it, like, wow, this she touched this paper, like, in 1985. Like, it's cool, it's cool. I see the benefits of both. I love to listen, I love hearing. So, that's me.
Yeah, everyone consumes differently, for
Yeah.
sure. Okay. For those listening, if you made it this far, please let us know in the comments below what was the lesson your younger self needed to hear, as we'd love to hear your responses.
I'd
Mikey,
love to hear that.
thank you for coming on today and for the open conversation. If anyone listening wants to follow Mikey's journey more closely, then links to his socials will be in the description. And I'll also make sure to link his Discord, where if you have any questions around investing, credit scores, finance in general, he will be there along with many other members, but also all learning together at the same time.
Heck yeah. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you, dude. I really
No worries.
appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to follow us, to leave a review, and to connect with us on our socials.